get this show on the road. Get that over there. We're gonna go vertical. And oh boy. Alright, we're gonna try that. Alright, there we go. Let's see how that goes. Alright. Alright, let's get ourselves underway. Here, Angus Kisses, how are you, Panjay? Good to see you tonight. Thanks for coming in, both of you. It's coffee time. It's been kind of a cool, very heavy rain today. I'm happy to report that Kitchen Stadium just flew right through it today with no problems whatsoever. So that made me very, very excited. A lot to talk about today, so we're going to get our coffee. We're in a vertical mode tonight. I don't know if anything's going to appear on here. I'm going to encourage people, we need to start preparing for Las Vegas. Yes, the streams, the marathon stream will be a horizontal stream, don't worry. That day. A lot of people will be watching this live stream. A lot of people will be watching this live stream afterward. We need to also do a little bit of channel building here and welcoming some new people into the process here. And also, I'm not sure if the donut button donate. They say it's below it. You can swipe left. It's there. Who knows? I don't know. People know what to do. Back at it. Just go to any donate button under any video. You'll see a little thing that says fundraiser. You just click on it and you can donate. Very simple game. So a couple things politically and otherwise to talk about today too. So we want to tear into that. It's a lot of moving parts have kind of cut loose on the board today, and it's important that we run end down. Everything is really good. I got some good news that I'm going to share with you about the cell phone that stopped working in Las Vegas. I'm going to share the news on that, what the outcome of that is, and yeah, quite a few things. And I think I'm going to cook exactly what I made last night. I'm going to use diced tomatoes, and for you, those of you who were along last night, we made linguine alla Corky, which was fresh made pasta with fresh sauce. How you doing? Who's that? Is it Daniel? How you doing? And that just turned out spectacularly. I mean, that was restaurant quality linguine on the plate last night. Not a doubt in my mind. So we want to do it with dried spaghetti tonight. We want to open a can of diced tomatoes because I can't go shelling out $8 for tomatoes. The little ones, and then they're sit there schlepping them and removing the seeds and picking the skin out. But man, everything just worked absolutely beautifully. So welcome in, everybody. We got a lot of stuff going on in the world today. The president signed these bill ending the longest shutdown. But you know, there's some pieces that we talk about a bit tonight. So although I'm going to press for the fundraiser tonight, our object is going to be to discuss quite a few things that are going on, and also welcome your opinion. As I get back, some people may wish to want to call in or something, in which case I'll fire up the other phone. That'll be your call. Some people want to just give me a beat down, and that's okay too. So I'll be back in a minute. I'll say hellos to everybody once we get up in our coffee spot. Oh, all right, leave it to Beeve, right? Leave it to Beeve. Let's say hi to some people here. We've got Angus Kisses, Elmer, the one and only Miss Tree. Nice to see you, Revlo. How are you? Nice to see you. We got Daniel here. Always good to see you. I think we're gonna be caught up a little bit there. So I'm gonna be putting in some important thought bubbles today on AI. Particularly, there's a lot of people that are invested in AI, or most people are through their pension portfolios or whatever. But there's some people that also trade, and we want to kind of figure out what's the story. Don't back up on me, dude. Do not back up on me. Boy, did we have a heavy rain today. The Kitchen Stadium held up beautifully. I got so much to talk about, I'm going to trip on my tongue here. All right, here we go. You guys been blasted with cold. It's not been real cold here. Our cold will hit in December, especially if we have a clear night that clears off. The temperature just plummets on those nights. But with cloudiness, marine layer, you're usually trapping whatever heat is in overnight here. Oh, that coffee's good. There's nothing better than walking in there in the afternoon and seeing a nice fresh pot of coffee. Nice fresh pot of coffee out there. That is super. There's a camper van up there. I wonder what that is. There is a camper van. I guess I'll try to remember to look at it tomorrow. Oh. Tell whenever I'm in the hood. It's like I need a damn chiropractor when I'm in here. I tell you what, I had a real revelation, a real epiphany last night, guys, when it came to cooking like that. Taking tomatoes, just a touch of garlic, some passat, some of the special puree from Italy, and Italian olive oil, and it just made, I couldn't believe how simple it was. If I had some basil leaves, I could have torn off and just popped on top of it. It would have been amazing. It would have been absolutely out of sight. As it is, it was good. So I want to have another crack at it. Want to have another go of it. So I kind of get ingrained into my custom. You know what I mean? I can make it. You don't want to cook for. You don't want to prepare something for other people that you can't knock off like expertly. I mean, if you try to just experiment when company's coming over, well, you know how that goes sometimes. People end up eating the legs on the chairs and stuff for dinner. So we don't want that to happen. So I don't know if Ronnie's in here yet. If anybody can actually see a donate button, if you can swipe several ways on the touch the screen, all kinds of things. They tell me it shows up in the chat, but I don't know. But tonight I'm just running it. Do you love the snow, man? Your hair loves snow. You like my haircut, huh? I guess it's high and tight Air Force style there. That was it. High and tight. In other words, I don't want to have to come here every 2 weeks. Just make sure I got my money's worth when I come down here, all right? Not that I'm budget minded, of course, but times being what they are. Yeah, it still looks a little threatening around here tonight. So Today's Thursday, Sunday. Sunday's off to Las Vegas. Mr. Z picked up a 38. A 38 revolver, not a 38. He put what was it, 357? I don't know what the hell he picked up. So he's excited about that. Yeah, no donate button. If you swipe or try moving around on it, does it, do you see it anywhere if you push it up, down, or keep your finger pressed down on it? Does it? So the only way to do it is to drop out of the stream for a second and hit any donate button on the channel page. Underneath of any video, just hit the button and it'll open up the donate thing for people. Please come to Boston for the springtime. You can sell your crap on the sidewalk. Boy, I'll tell you what, if I was a songwriter, they would be so, yeah, it'd be great songs. You can sell your crap on the sidewalk. It sounds so romantic. It used to have something vulgar, but I won't. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. All right, so we are underway. Looks like the circus might be in town today. I don't know. We have a ragged out society. That's what somebody Gmailed me today. Rosie, I'm living in a ragged out society. I said, you know what? That's a good way to put it, is you feel ragged out. That's just why we have to do things that make us feel genuinely good in our heart and soul. Oh, this guy's just going to park right across here. What a sackmeister here. Sure gotten good at using the mirrors, I'll tell you that. Hey, welcome, kids. It's Mr. Robinson's neighborhood. Did you have a good day in the neighborhood today, boys and girls? I don't feel the tap yet. Tap, 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 tap. Tap. I don't know if the meter lady's going to be around today or not. I don't know. All right, there we go. Okay, it can be super cold. Yeah, what's going on, Elmer? Let's relax. We're not going to gas up until I did some laundry. I did a lot of laundry today. We're not going to gas up until we until Saturday night. How you doing, Alan Gentry? Good to see you. Good to see you tonight. A lot of stuff to talk about that's on people's plate. As I said, I'll get into it later. Well, we're going back. It takes a while to build up verticals again. If you stop verticals for a week or so, and then you go back, you'll see when you go to Vegas, and then they get bigger and bigger. They just pick up speed over time. So, you know, we're just taking advantage. If we can be at 8K by the end of tomorrow, we will be on a by request. We will be down in, I think we're going to go to Petaluma tomorrow night on a horizontal stream. People seem to really love. It's going to be dark. Lights should be up. It should be decorated. It's a beautiful town to go to. Hey, Vinyl, how are you? It's a beautiful town to go to. So if you would like to donate tonight, you need only close out this chat window, go to the channel page. Underneath of every video, you will see a little medallion in green. It says Fundraiser on it. You can click that and make a donation and let us know in here, and we will cheer you on in ways that you would think were unimaginable. Please hit the thumbs up. I have to keep going. Do I have to? Vinyl. My nickname growing up was Rosie, right? I might be the fool Rosie again coming up. You never know. My life takes twists and turns. It's what makes the channel interesting is, you never know what's around the next bend. But one thing I can tell you, Vinyl, my whole life I've been known as Rosie to my family, to my folks when they were alive. It was always my nickname. Did any of you have nicknames growing up? Yeah. I think all my brothers, younger brother Tommy, Tomahawk, right? Ricky, Ricardo. I just happen to have, very defined and, I don't know, as one doctor said, you have fatty cheeks. I said, yeah, monkey. I said, is that bad, doctor? He said, it's better to have fatty cheeks than fatty liver, so take it and enjoy. And the second that I would go out into any place that was cold or whatever, boom, would instantly look like I put like rose blush on my cheeks or something like that. So it would be, it'd be kind of insane, but it helped me out at certain points in my life too. Anyway, hey, Deal for Real, how are you tonight? Good to see you. Yeah, later on I'm going to get into the phone. I just wanted to do a few more comments about last night's. You never know in life. That stainless steel pan could be a turning point in the evolution of cooking in Kitchen Stadium to take it. Yeah, I know, it's so cute. It's like that dog you just want to have put down. Anyway, that could be a turning point in the culinary experience on the Rancho. I think that's be amazing. Bringing all kinds of things, because otherwise when I would cook, everything would get all, you get char on it. There was not a bit of char or anything last night. I never ever cooked on the stainless steel pan before, and it was a tremendous experience last night. So let's review what's going to be coming up. I'm going to leave the house about 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. I should be in Petaluma about 3:20 in the afternoon. We will be live. How you doing, Kelly? And then we'll have a lot of fun in Petaluma. I don't really think I need to pick up anything at the store tomorrow night. Reason being that I'm going to be out of town from the 16th to, I'm going to be out of town for basically 2 weeks. Okay. And, the cats will all be taken care of and all that. That's already, we already have established procedures for that. And then Saturday night is the, they have the south of A Street, the lighted sofa parade for the holidays. Winter Blast is taking place. Hello, Amanda, hug and kiss. This is right up your alley. Petaluma tomorrow, and then Winter Blast on Saturday night. I don't think it's going to be real cold down there, but everybody seems to enjoy the lighted sofa parade, and we get a chance to look around and do it live. So there's a lot of great content coming. Sunday will be the video with Tara. When we went up the Hopland trip, will roll. I told you, if I'm asking people to donate, I think I've got to really, be a content whore here for the month of, for this whole thing, and I'm committed to doing that. So we've really taken a step up in what we're doing on content. We're just taking a break with the vertical, just to keep our chat, just to keep my toes in the vertical stream. We'll also test if people will be willing, when they want to donate, just to back out of the live stream here and go to the channel page, any one of the dozen of fundraiser buttons are on there. You can make a donation on there and then come back and let us know, so we can acknowledge you, celebrate your greatness in front of everybody here tonight. I'm not asking for much tonight. If we could just move forward, maybe 200, which is very small. Sounds small, it's big, I know. And that leaves us with a doable 4 or so for tomorrow night. And we wake up Saturday at the 8K level, and we are 2/3 of the way through this fundraiser. And we have all the fun stuff ahead down in Vegas. We have all the fun stuff ahead down there, so it's gonna be a total victory. It's gonna be a total victory coming up, and I hope that you can be a part of it. Thank you to those who watched the restoration of the Revere pan. That thing was like a dream last night working that. We're going to wait till we get a lot more people in, and then we're going to talk about the news on the cell phone, because as you know, yesterday I dropped off the Galaxy S10 Plus. They would not come on in the morning that morning in Vegas. I'm going to give you an update on that, and yeah, I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag yet. So today, I had a lot of mail today, and I have a lot of topics that are backed up because I'm trying to stay focused. Hey, Ronnie, I'm trying to stay focused on, beating the drum here and keeping this fundraiser rolling along as we get ready to exit the Badlands here, the middle third of the fundraiser. But events have gone on. Some people have talked about the shutdowns. Some people have been expressing concerns. I have some Supreme Court watchers that are very actively involved in watching what goes on at the United States Supreme Court, and oral arguments can always be heard online. They're public, right? They're public oral arguments. And it's seeing, this person said, it seems to me in listening to the hours of presentation before the Supreme Court from counsels on both sides, it seems like the tariffs thing might be on a bit of shaky ground. We don't know. But he said, yeah, Ronnie, we're asking people tonight to just back out of the stream if they're going to donate. And you can touch the screen, maybe slide it sideways, a couple things. So let me do one thing. I don't think it'll appear, but I'm not going to worry about it tonight. I'm sure our goal of 200 will be met tonight. All right, because we need to keep our toe in, because I'm getting these messages from YouTube regarding, it's basically pick a format and stick with it. And I'm like, well, I'd pick a format. You know what? But your crap's not operating correctly. Your stuff is not operating correctly, and that's the name of that tune, partner. So if the tariff thing is going to reverse, it's not really that much in the way of, we're talking about maybe $300 billion, maybe $400 billion, which is not really making a dent in what we have on the debt. And this person loves Corky on here, and loved the fact that Corky came on and said, I made $2,000 today for doing nothing. You know how understated Corky is, right? Let's say hi to some people. We've got we got Ronnie here. Jen, how are you? Vincent, you're gonna axe. Where's the crab? Yeah, it was pouring rain today, Vincent. Probably would have been an ideal day to go over there, because you wouldn't have had anybody crabbing over there. But I got too much going on, dude. I got too much going on right now, and early in the season, I want to stay clear of that place. There's too many people that are really excited. Remember the Joker? that are too excited about crab season kicking off. And I got to wait till that enthusiasm goes off a little bit, pales a little bit here. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, I'm not going near the events. Please hit the thumbs up. Hey, Milkman's Kid. Anyway, anybody wants to donate, you need only, and I will put this on a Nightbot statement, you need only exit the chat for a minute, go to my main channel page. You will see fundraiser button underneath of every single video. You can click on any one of them. It'll bring you right to the donation thing. You can come back and let us know what you did, and we can celebrate you. Okay? It's a very nice thing to do. We only are trying to pick up a couple hundred, but we're going for a very light night tonight. Anyway, this person thinks this is what happened to silver, why it hit a new all-time high. Yes, we need to finish Keystone, do better. I won't let it happen. Hey, what's up, Sask? How you doing? I'm going to be honest with you. I never knew too much about the Keystone Pipeline. I do know right now that the world is swimming in, how you doing here, Naomi? The world is swimming in oil right now. Where in the hell are you going to pull it when you pull it out of the ground? They're just hurting for storage. I thank you very much, Milkman. Everybody, please hit the thumbs up button. This is unusual because hey, Aquarius, we don't have any data right now. We haven't had any data from October. No data is really going to be posted, and which is going to impact November. So it's going to be, we're kind of flying blind about it. This is a bad time not to know what's going on with work and potential layoffs and all that. Very good hoodie, like that hoodie. Oh, the quality is tremendous. Tara gave me this last year. This is in Under Armour. It's just the perfect weight. Again, there's a reason that precious metals, that gold went from $1,000 to $4,400. It's around $4,000 now over there. And silver went up to $54.25. I think it's like $52.50 or something today. Yeah, it's not, Naomi. Like I said, if you want to donate, you just exit the stream for a minute. You go to my main channel page where you will see all the donate buttons underneath of every single video. Simply tap on that donate button and the donate thing will come up, and you can make your donation and come back and tell us how generous you are, and we will celebrate you. I just wanted to have a vertical stream. We'll be horizontal in Petaluma tomorrow. We'll be horizontal at the south of A Street lighted sofa parade for Winter Blast, and I'll be taking off early on Sunday. Okay, so this is about it. We have a vertical stream here. That's about it. I get tired of hearing from YouTube. My YouTube contact is, I just following up. Is there anything else? How did it turn out for you? I said, I gave up on you guys. Just don't even worry about it. I said, don't even worry about it, honey. I'm so disappointed to run a fundraiser and the donate button doesn't show up on the screen. So she'll probably, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm not going through a million steps. The less I interact with people on YouTube staff, the better it is for me over the years. So we are trying to just raise 2 bills tonight. So do you understand that now, Naomi? Very simple process. I'm going to put it on a Nightbot, so when we do have a vertical streams in Vegas, step 1, exit this live stream. Step 2, go to the main channel page. Step 3, click on any fundraiser icon on the main channel page, donate. 5, come back and tell us so we can celebrate you. Very simple. Very simple. It's a very, very simple process, and we'll test it out. We'll test it out tonight. Um, AI. I have some people recently. One person's. Some people have a great memory in here. Somebody called me out like years ago. I talked about the psychology of investing. That when an investment just starts, and we just saw this with gold and silver. Nobody talked about gold and silver till they were like at 3,500. Till gold was at $3,500. It didn't even make the news. Yeah, thank you, Alan Gentry, donating $10 there. Thank you, Alan, for testing out the system. Did that work okay? I hope so. Thank you, Alan. We're going to call Alan the commander now. We're going to call him Sergeant here. Anyway, all of a sudden you saw in the news, all of a sudden everybody was talking about the price of gold and silver. It just came out, boom. Now you have a group of people, now it's starting to make the media, not crazy like, but it'll say like yesterday, silver hit an all-time high again. This person reminded me, yes, Rosie, the psychology that you talked about, I never thought about that before. But there comes a point when something is being driven up. And this person specifically asked me to address Bitcoin in this context. But the media gets behind it. The stories start to be written. The coverage, the press releases go out. And it starts to snowball a little bit, the interest in something. And this person's like, yeah, AI. Said, apply that to AI. Everybody, every time that the AI stocks, which some companies like NVIDIA are $4 trillion market cap, every time somebody came out and said something negative about AI, all of the CEOs would rush out and tell people how much backlog they have and how much business is in the pipeline. And if you're short this stock, F you, screw you, and it's great, and we're making money hand over fist. That worked real well for about a year. And then we saw this week when the chairwoman of Advanced Micro Devices came out, and in response to Michael Burry, who has a big short position, he stands to make money if these stocks go down. So she hates his guts. So she was quickly out there to say, oh, we're in good shape, right? We got, we're going to be $1 trillion company and all this shit. What happened? Had a little pop yesterday, and then look what happened today. They came in and sold that shit viciously today. I suspect, and this subscriber reminded me of the psychological theory, Rosie, that we might have spun that ball as high as it can be spun, up in the air, with all the news attention, all the coverage, all the stories written about it, all the talking heads, all the Wall Street, all the analysts, all the CEOs. There's nothing more to say. In other words, we've probably outrun the position now. And there's going to be some type of severe pullback and all of this stuff. Do I think it's the reality? Yes, because you need psychology to sustain any kind of movement. And right now you can't write any more press stories, you can't have any more interviews, no more CEOs on the air. There's nothing more that anybody can say that hasn't been said. Yeah, we know it's a rocket ship to the moon. We know we're all going to be billionaires. We know. We get it, dude. Bring us something new. So I commended this subscriber for remembering that psychology, because now let's think about Bitcoin. All right, because Bitcoin plunged below the 100. It had bounced off of the 100,000 level, went back to like 112, and today it plunged through the 100,000 level on a downside. Guess what? Do you hear anybody talking about Bitcoin now? As Amanda Hugginkiss says, is that after the great Jeremy Irons, I hear silence. There's no enthusiasm for it anymore. Right? It's like a dead psychological issue now. Nobody cares about it anymore. That means the pressure can shift to the downside now, selling on balance. This is what I think is so interesting, and I was waiting today, and that cracked through on very high volume today. Psychology reminded me of Dot. Exactly, Hiss. It was exactly the same with WorldCom. You could only talk about so much of the internet and WorldCom and AOL, and look at the way AOL went up. Oh, it was the darling, right? It's going to own the world. That happened. We had the PC bust when Carly Fiorini was running Compaq, right? And sent that company tits up, and Sun Microsystem were out there. You don't even hear of them anymore. It's amazing. So the question is, how do you build up psychology for Bitcoin again? To get people thinking about it, you build it up now on the downside. And this is called the return trip. When you've had your ride and now it's coming down the other side. Now the news starts saying, oh, shit. Mystery, what's a Bitcoin worth? Hiss, what's the value? What's the intrinsic value of a Bitcoin? Have we just been swapping air back and forth here? You understand what I'm saying? You start to get that psychology that kicks in and starts cutting the legs out from under. And people start to think, wow, 6 months ago, people were roaring in to support. They would come in and buy the dip. What happened? Where are they? Where are those big captains, those mega billionaires in there? The answer is nowhere. Remember this, my friends, the old Wall Street adage. It takes buying to put it up, but it can fall of its own weight. All right. It takes somebody actively buying to push the price higher. Somebody casually selling can easily push the price lower. Okay, so it's just. So I thought that was very interesting. So I shout out that fine subscriber for bringing me back once more to the psychology of. And we see now that AI has become as big in the headlines as it can be right now. True or false? You can't click on the news, read a newspaper article or something without AI being slammed in your face. It's an AI world, right? And you're seeing the latest robot come out from China, falls right over on its face and everything. The expectations are kind of unbelievable here. In other words, the story can't get any better than it is right now. AI can't. Hey John, how you doing? The story can't get any better. It's reached its psychological peak. Well, it's scary when you start to develop characters, and when Samuel Altman of ChatGPT fame said he knows the big money of AI will be made in pornography. Right? That's where people have accounts like crazy. That's where the money's made. And he said, coming soon, we're not going to be the morals police of AI. And pretty soon it's going to be let them rip, and you're going to see, right, it's going to be Katie bar the door, because right now you have well-known figures on YouTube that are being imitated, from the Pope right on down, that they're having words put in their mouths very cleverly. So you can you can spread tremendous misinformation. And this to me is the danger of AI. You want to make an AI figure, keep it in my closet. Sort of Bitcoin and Ethereum as we already did. Then I made a view honored. That's great, Jason. Excellent. Glad to hear that. Hey, Tina. And Jason, I'm glad you're here. You're exactly who I want to talk to for a minute. What did you think about my story of the psychology of an investment? And once the psychology dries up a little bit, it's very hard to find the helium to puff up the balloon again, because people moved on to other the hot money moved on. And the small guys are sitting there holding Bitcoin, and they're like, is anybody coming to the party tonight? It's like they're remembering like my best college date, like prom night. Right. Which were glorious, right? He's saying. And they're waiting to recapture that again. AI cat playing the banjo, exactly. How you doing, Tina? You met the AI currently on the... Yes, I did. Yeah, I brought that to the attention the other day. I told people there's an AI artist that made the billboard. This is the future, folks. Looks like FDZ. Yeah, he's in. I think he's got like relatives or something. I know we met one of his relatives down in Mexico City. I don't know about. He's in Acapulco. I heard about that, Tina. Yeah. So he's back there. But I just tell you, it's very difficult to puff up a trend once it starts to lose its psychological. I do agree. I used to read books by like Peter Lynch, the same when the taxi driver started wrecking. Exactly. But I tended to go more on the psychology of it. In other words, how much bigger can this story get? Who hasn't heard the story in the world? Some guy in some weird remote African tribe in the middle of somewhere out there that hasn't even heard the word of God, right? But he knows about AI. It means everybody that could act on it has acted on it now. They're all in position. Right? And they took Bitcoin, and I'm gonna be honest, it was ugly watching that bastard plunge through the 100,000, 101, 102,000. Now it might come back tomorrow. But I'm saying you're losing. It's like a steam engine that's gradually running out of steam. Well, who's going to stock the boilers? Are we going to move, or are we going to freeze to death in the mountains up here? Well, yeah, I don't know, Tina. Here's the thing philosophically I want to mention tonight. And I want everybody to think about it. Yes, that everyone that gets into that dog's bed and said that that's me. Yeah, they've all heard the hype. There's no one left to entice. Exactly. Here's what I want you to think about. You think about the history of human inventions and innovation. This is why I love philosophy and things like that. You think of the way that people used to transport things in Stone Age times. They'd have to drag it maybe with a rope, a couple people pull it along, right? Push it along, pull it along, maybe it's a big boulder or something. Right? And then one day somebody invents the wheel, and it moves transportation up to a whole new level. We have an efficient physical advantage, a wheel, to move things along. What comes along next? The next iteration is the locomotive comes along. And then the automobile. At every point in that iteration of progress, you needed less and less like human input and creativity to be involved in the process. Many fewer human minds had to be involved in it. In other words, in the 1920s, 120 car companies were building automobiles. By the end of the Depression, there were probably 11 car companies that were left. You didn't need all that thinking to advance the automobile. Now think about this in terms of AI. What does AI do? It removes the need for the human mind to be creative. And what happens if you don't use something? It atrophies, right? You lose it. This is what we lose in AI. We lose that insight, that critical moment, that miraculous moment. Some weird miracle occurred, and we just snatch this knowledge right out. We lose that. We turn that over to AI, and it becomes very difficult for humanity to advance its civilization. This, to me, is the real potential horror show when it comes to AI, is that it makes human thought obsolete, and it treats human beings as if their minds are equivalent to being a computer. Sorry. The human mind is 1,000 million times more powerful than any AI device. It can put things together and connect ideas that AI wouldn't in a million years be able to connect. But when you start asking AI, make this movie, make this singer, write a good book for me and that I can publish under my name, you lose the ability of people to be creative. And that is a damn scary thing that you won't hear talked about anywhere else when it comes to AI. It will start to atrophy human creativity. And when human creativity goes, we become what I call, we're no longer a forward moving society. We become a circular society. That all it cares about is improving the brain of the machine. And the human brain, and we've already been well on the path with this, with the collapse of public education and things in America. It all ties into it. Anything. But hear what I'm saying and appreciate that. That's the real thing. I can give you a prime example. I'm writing my book and revising some things, and I'm going through and I'm taking the footnotes, and I'm saying, oh, that wasn't even in proper publisher form. In the old days, I would have to go to a library and I would have to get a book out on style for publication, especially academic publications. I would have to read about proper footnote form, and I would have to take notes on a pad. And then I would come home and I would take that and I would go through. Now I just take the half-ass footnote I slopped down a year or two ago. I feed it into AI and I say, put this into proper Chicago footnotes form. And in less than 2 seconds, here comes the proper form. I copy it, I paste it in, remove the lousy one that I put in, put the good one. Which means I never really learn anything about I never really learned anything about how to do a proper footnote. Okay? Doing recipes. We'll just have AI. We'll hook some robotic arms and AI can go crazy cooking. I never know about how to make a recipe or how to cook anything. How you doing, Kaylee? Let's see. Let me back up a little bit. I'm not saying I agree. I agree. What you're saying is the problem, and I agree. Yeah, I got you. It's all about having to pay less cost for now. Employees at any look. Capitalist system mystery attacks cost. If you can do it more efficiently, eventually your company will have to do it more efficiently, or you will die. All right. And that's why you wonder, why are corporate profits raging right now? Because they're taking out so much of the cost structure by getting rid of people. But what they're not thinking about is that they're destroying the consumption side of the equation. The people that were making $150,000, a quarter of $1,000,000 a year, they're not going to go to Vegas. They're not going to go to the Formula One race. They're not going to go shopping with Amanda Huggentree down at Peachtree Plaza in Atlanta, Georgia, or buying a new bag, a Birkin bag. They're not going to do it. This is the untold story of that side. TikTok and social media have already done that to America. That's China. They don't allow. Yeah, TikTok, they never allowed that. But China doesn't allow that. You think, these psychologists in this country will stand up? Oh, kids aren't affected by, social media, and it's good to be exposed. It's good to have these unlimited freedom and all this stuff. Years ago, a culture didn't, it would be considered stupid if you had a society that had unlimited freedom. We celebrate that here for our own demise. And, this is one of the beauties of authoritarian systems. They're horrible in a lot of ways, but, the Chinese leadership doesn't allow the rank and file to degrade. It controls what the rank and file can see. Great for me, virtually never. How you doing, Kaylee? Short entertainment atrophies the teens. Yeah, you can't. That's exactly it. It's still making mistakes, but every time it makes a mistake, it learns. Every time you tell it, I've had it make some thumbnails that the person's thumb sticking out of their skull or whatever. How you doing, Michael? I'm back, and I just think, okay, I tell AI, I want to say this very kindly. This guy's got a thumb coming out of his head. Maybe that was supposed to be down lower on the body. I don't know. You might have stuck it in the wrong. This appendage is in. Oh yes, thank you for bringing my attention. And then let me just correct that. Then it brings back the same image again. But it's taking all this in and correcting. Humanity the tree hugger, Jeffrey Epstein, rest in peace. Why you keep going? Yeah, it's just having people are tired of Epstein. Anybody here have AI as a friend? No. Yeah, I know I'm too polite to AI. So, anybody wants to donate tonight? If you're enjoying the chat, a lot of people seem to enjoy when we go a little intellectual and philosophical here, because we're not mindless idiots. We're of a certain generation that we had to open books, learn how to put bibliographies together, alphabetize, how to write a sentence properly and communicate an idea. If you would like to support, we're only trying to move ahead by $200 tonight. Very simple goal to get us up to $7,600, because I feel sure when we're in Petaluma tomorrow night, we'll be looking at that 8000, which means we're 2/3 of the way. We're out of the Badlands, that soft white underbelly of the fundraiser for this year, and that is something that we should really celebrate there. If you want to donate tonight, you need only leave the stream for a moment, go to my channel page, look at any of the videos on my channel page, tap on the fundraiser, and it will bring you right to where you can make your donation. Like Alan Gentry did, come back and tell us, Duncan donated $10. Thank you, Duncan. I appreciate that. So it's going to work out okay. Thank you, Duncan. and then come back and we can celebrate you like you've never been celebrated in your life before. Hey, Callie Mo. Obama is the one who read about everything. The kids, they didn't know what schools were like in the old days. Well, teachers sure do. I'll tell you that. When you have teachers that carve out, it used to be that high school would be unruly, right? You had movies like Blackboard Jungle or To Serve with Love. Where you wouldn't have a problem was in elementary education, and we consider elementary education K through 6. It's the most critical teaching. Everything else is geared to, is a finishing school after you leave 6th grade. It's just adding to your base knowledge. Now you look at the state of stuff today. Even the 6th graders are potential life-threatening danger for a weapon. And you have in Modesto now in high schools that can't be controlled anymore. They're declaring a citywide emergency. We don't know what to do. All right. This is the situation. Rose, look good. Yeah, thank you, Happy. I appreciate that. So if anybody else, thank you. Duncan, John, Brentford, I think, donated tonight. We just had Duncan. Thank you guys for being in. We have a very simple goal tonight to achieve. Which is great. I got some other good news today. I never heard from Phone Boy yesterday. Smartphone Boy. Tuesday night we went into Smartphone Boy's shop. I asked him if he could repair the Samsung Galaxy S10. He's like, bring it in the shop tomorrow. I took it in yesterday morning. Didn't hear from him. He said, I'll call you. You know, you got to deal, when you're dealing with a Mexican company, it's like there's, you know, sometimes you're 3 standard deviations away from the norm of the way that, you know, the Caucasians might do business, or people, you know, people in northern climates or something. So I call him today and he's like, you know what? We just finished analyzing your phone, and as you suspected or thought, it had to do with the system. Your charging point went bad. Your charging port went bad. So as we speak, he is replacing that charging port now. All of my information will come back. That phone will go back into service again. This phone, all the information will be transferred to this phone, and we will be good to go for backup. Now, will I be taking the call-in phone to Las Vegas? Yeah, I'll be walking around with the Bluetooth on me, and if you want to talk to me while I'm walking around the streets of Vegas, you can do that. I would suggest that you don't do that in a high noise environment because it's impossible to hear. There will be content, there will be live streams. Okay, so there will also be you know, call-in shows and things like that, sometimes in the morning like Sundays, or sometimes a good morning. I thought I was your job, but I suggest you do wireless. Yeah, I don't think, you know why it didn't work, Jason? Because the phone went dead before I ever put it into allow wireless charging mode. In other words, if I had flipped that little toggle, that phone would have probably gone up to 100%. But I can't run a stream unless I can plug a power pack into it too. That's the limitation that I was facing on that. So I did buy a remote charger. You could sit it right on it, but it didn't seem to work. And I looked at this replacement phone I got, the Galaxy Note, and it looks like, yeah, you have to flip a little thing in the settings. It says enable wireless charging. So that's how that all came down. Luckily, I thought I fried the motherboard in it or something. I thought I got in a high heat situation. It just fried the thing. And then, no, when push came to shove, I suspected that the charging port or battery was going bad, because Ronnie would always have to ask me, are we charging? Are we charging? And then, oh shit, we're not. Thanks, Ronnie. That should have been my first clue that something is degrading on it. Anyway, it's worth it. $100, $90, he's going to pop a new one in. It's worth it to me to have all my contacts. Right, a lot of critical shit that I didn't have time. And then you better believe that will be backed up. Okay, so I think we might come out ahead. I'm going to start packing for Vegas on Saturday so we can go enjoy the lighted sofa parade south of A Street. The annual winter blast is going on. I don't know what the weather's going to be like. I'm not even sure Mike can tell me what the weather's going to be like in Petaluma tomorrow. I don't know. I think it's going to be clear and cold is starting to come in. So good times ahead. Good times. So tonight, once again, if you'd like to donate and support, you need only close out this stream, go to my channel page. You'll find lots of little fundraiser buttons underneath of my videos. Pick any one of them, click on it. You can make your donation and then come back and tell us what you did. I wish to come hang out with you in my life. It'd get pretty boring, but I'm grateful for my life. Well, it's nothing wrong with that. I have to be honest, I've lived anything but a boring life. I've lived a wild life. Right, so I'm not really cut out. I mean, it's beautiful. Sometimes it's nice to have quiet, but I like my personal life to be rocking and rolling and like the wildest roller coaster you've ever been on in your life. Here in Oakdale, it's going to rain until Monday, yes. 62 and mostly sunny tomorrow in Petaluma. So, yeah, I hope that holds for tomorrow evening, too. I'll be leaving here at 3 o'clock. I'll be starting the live stream at 3:30 tomorrow. It will be a horizontal stream because I want everybody to enjoy the lights, the streets, the people. We might get a snack or something down there. And we're not going to go shopping tomorrow night because, well, frankly, I'm going to be going out of town until December. Capiche? So it's going to be all right. But that's good, Jason. I'm scared of roller coaster rides, so I'll watch you on this. I'm just speaking figuratively. You never know what's going to come next in my life. I'm watching Bitcoin. It's trying to get back. Yeah, it's once you crack, it's difficult. Problem is, Jason, and now you have like the big players, Michael, whatever his name is, in there, and they're working. They have to work feverishly now to throw their own money in to try to support this market. What they cannot do is they cannot rebuild the psychology of Bitcoin. Nobody cares. With even all this threat with government, please ride a roller coaster there, one of those scary rides. My ride, Jason, is the ultimate, my life. Okay? I've had a lot going on in my life personally and in my own brain lately. And I've been dealing with my own stuff. Oh man, if the Patriots can't take care of the Jets, I don't know, Kelly. I don't like either team, but the Patriots have been having a good year. Life is not smooth. My life is often taking radical turns and things. And it will continue to do so. It will continue to do so. It's It's like the banner says on top of my channel, a most unusual and unusual life. YouTube takes no money, yeah. So we got a good weekend ahead. We got a great weekend ahead. With the Petaluma tomorrow, horizontal stream. Lighted sofa parade, winter blast festival, Saturday night. I'll need to be out of there like about 9 o'clock or so to be able to rest up for the drive down. I am the ultimate roller coaster milkman. I've got new tires on. I saw Robert Kraft in a casino in Oklahoma with his young girlfriend. I thought you said you're going to see Bill Belichick with his young side piece down there at North Carolina, University of North Carolina. Let's see. I'm roller coaster ride. I'm here for it. There you go. Kelly says, "What's wrong with it?" I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Ben. Oh, brother. Yeah, I'm just saying psychology is always a necessary ingredient to sustain a market. Once the psychology deteriorates, it starts to get undercut like the tides undercutting the foundation. It's only a matter of time. Guy's got a big Class A wheeling through here tonight. He's even pulling a Jeep. What's he got? He's got an Oak Tiffin. They're good ones, Tiffin Open Road. Let's see. Bill had the out doing with a younger Otto, and I can't believe he lets her run him. Well, Amanda Hogginkiss will tell you most guys simp anyway, so she'll tell you guys like to be run. You know, that's it, right? Amanda Hogginkiss could teach a college simping 101. Women's studies, simping 101. Yeah. Well, he's not thinking much about football. It's amazing. As soon as a guy, you know, in real sports heavyweight starts to get a little bit of you know what on the mind, like Tiger Woods, like Bill Belichick, everything goes to shit. You know, he's not thinking about football. Right? He's wondering what she's going to wear to the game, and it's like, you know, wow, okay. We ain't in New England anymore. So, yeah, you never know what's coming down the pike on this channel. We can't allow him back in the NFL after simping, right? Let's just say, Jason, I'm going to be honest with you. There's a level of respect for Bill Belichick that ended up being kind of undercut here over the last 2 years. Not that a person's not allowed to have the pursuit of happiness, but I'm just saying they're not, you know, they thought this guy was going to come into the Tar Heel program and make it a powerhouse. So of course they're going to focus on, oh, the girlfriend calls it, yeah, it's like Tiger Woods' wife, yeah, she put the 5-iron through the windshield on the Cadillac Escalade, and poor Tiger just shriveled. Ooh, he turtled, man. It was over. You lose your competitive drive. That's it. He's not thinking about the game. He's thinking about the opera game activities and things. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, thumbs up or appreciate it. Please subscribe and share out Bitcoin. Not only that, Tiger with years of doing steroids. Oh man. just bad news. You know, once your private life gets unsettled, the ripple effects in your rest of your life are staggering. Absolutely staggering. You know, even Jesus warned. Remember, the apostles are all around like, yeah, what do you do about dating and stuff like that? And Jesus is like, you got to do X, Y, Z. And there's like screaming, wow, it'd be better for a man if he never, you know, if he never got tied up with the broads, right? And Lord's like, don't be simping here with me. That's oh man, you gotta love it. Here comes the king. Here comes the big number one. Sunday, I have to reshoot a video. No, I might not have to reshoot it. It's in my phone. Yeah, I shot a video on the road to Vegas. Yeah, and before I could edit it and upload it, the phone died. So yeah, that footage is still there. That's good. That's good. So I'll be able to put that one up too. It's like a short. It's only a short one, but it should be good. Yeah. Anyway, a lot of laughs tonight. No Bitcoin to take your money away. I don't know, Elmer. I don't know. I let people 1,000 times smarter than I am worry about that stuff. I just look at it from a psychological point of view, like a snowball that has to continue gathering publicity. Because publicity drives and motivates people to action. And action is what drives markets. You don't have the psychology. It's like the boiler on the Titanic just went out. And everybody's standing around with their thumb up their bum, wondering how they're going to get it going again. Yeah, Brett Borg, how you doing? You got to look at money. You have to look at money through a psychological lens. Exactly. You have to look at it as a momentum play. This is why the Elliott wave is such a tremendous tool, because it's the only method of market analysis that's built on psychology. That's it. I don't care nothing about that. I don't even understand it. Elmer Bloom with my long line of blooms. Yeah, Brett Borg, you've got some very interesting fonts on here tonight. All right, so we've talked about simping tonight. Oh man, they've been pumping crypto trauma with the guy. They would call it for $1 million, but it's been ridiculous. Yeah, and same thing with AI. When the chairwoman of AMD, who is a very smart woman, she came rushing into the battlefield to fight against Michael Burry, who has a lot of short positions on Nvidia and Tesla, and she came out like that Chinese warrior there, and her words helped a little bit for that day. It allowed the insiders to unload at AMD, and then today they bloody pulled the rug out from under it. That turkey dropped like a frozen bird out of a helicopter. That was it. Think back now, the Trump family's in it, and I won't buy any of it. Yeah, hey, big dogs, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. These are all things, big dogs, that we have to have consideration for. That we try to be a little smarter and wiser over here in time. We don't just leave things and say, oh, markets are just random. They might be random in the shortest run, but you better believe markets are always going somewhere in the long run. Always, always, always. And if you just had psychology, you could do very well on it. That's it. 2 years ago, nobody wanted to touch silver or gold with a stick. It was like a stinky turd on the street. Then a month ago, we had that initial first wave upwent, and everybody was starting to write about silver and go, oh, shortages, coin dealers. And it died off for about a month. And then yesterday we came surging up to a new high again. Let's see. Hi, Kathy. A little bit of a shaker, really. Oh, wow, you had a shaker? I can actually, oh, wow. Okay, I didn't feel anything. I don't know Bitcoin. I don't know. But I'm saying if the trend reverses and people start to panic in Bitcoin, don't expect the big companies to come in there and put a basket underneath of what you want to sell and buy it. Corporations are as fearful and greedy as individuals are, because it's always one person sitting at the helm. Michael Saylor or whatever, and with his company. How you doing, Buttercup? Good to see you tonight. My pup barked at the floor. Oh, wow, Catherine, that's pretty scary. I didn't feel anything up here. I'm happy to report Kitchen Stadium just beautifully through the rain today. Hey, Jerry, how you doing? Nice to see you. It just came through like gangbusters. Did you see Michael Burry close that? Yes, he did. Yep. Couldn't stand the heat in the kitchen. But Michael Burry already tipped over the AI tower. The Jenga tower. He already tipped it over. I thought turkeys could fly. That's it. Once it gets tipped over, it will never be rebuilt again. Ever. Once the sellers finally get the upper hand and start to take control, then you're going to hear about all the corruption and all the graft, all the stolen Bitcoin, all the accounts that are locked out. People are locked out. I had my money offshore at Jersey Islands off the coast of France. Yeah, well, it's gone. Yeah, but I want to file a complaint with the International Finance Bureau. Yeah, okay. Yeah, here's the link. Go ahead. Now remember, they don't monitor the mailbox, so you probably won't ever hear a reply. But do believe they're working on your case. Where'd my Bitcoin go? Where'd my balls? Where did everything all gone? Yeah, I'm lucky we haven't. Couldn't the government just lock everybody's money up? It's just, it's just on paper. Well, here's what's going to happen if we start trending down here. And I'm not saying at the moment we're trending down, but when we do, the biggest problem that the nation will face is the funding of its ongoing debt. We're not able to fund that within the United States anymore. All right. We've had to depend on international money. And while China's been unloading like crazy, taking advantage of the United States Treasury, buying our own lemonade here, liquefying the Chinese economy and allowing them to have an extremely high degree of liquidity and flexibility, we've been making our financial system more rigid here. Okay, we started to put a bucket underneath to catch shit that they're selling internationally. And now we have plates that are spinning in the air like Argentina and all this stuff, trying to keep all these holes filled. It's like the Dutch boy who's got to stick his finger in the dam. All right. What's going to happen is, eventually they're going to have, we've had currency controls before in this nation, right? Where people will be like, I don't think I want to be like, maybe I should buy some Chinese yuan. It looks like the sun is rising on the Oriental world and setting on the Occidental world. I might want to buy some Malaysian ringgits or some Singapore dollars or something. and he won't be able to. He'll be, oh, you can buy $1,000 if you're going to travel. $1,000, dude. I want $250,000. Why are you looking at me like that? It's just not going to happen, dude. Look at Executive Order number 3249, prohibiting the exchange of United States dollars within America for foreign currency. People wouldn't know how to do it anyway here. People in other nations, it's second nature to them to go into any financial institution and walk out with whatever currency. Ronnie, yeah, what country would you recommend moving to? Oh. Well, let's just put it this way. I guess I'm lucky in a way because I have permanent resident status in Hong Kong by virtue of my family and stuff like that. People aren't going to have the ability to do that type of thing. So, you know, people will be kind of locked out. Some people might want to go to Thailand. Some people might want to go to Vietnam, places like that. They will welcome you. But the lifestyle change and the degraded quality of life will really mentally take its toll on you. In other words, it sounds good. Hey, boy blue, China move. China will never allow the immigration of any appreciable numbers of people from the West. Never, never, never. If you look at the symbol for China, and you know Chinese, Zongguo, Zong meaning middle. It's like a square with the stick through the middle. Guo. Guo means kingdom. If you look at that symbol for Guo, it's a rectangular box, and inside of it is a guy with a sword. They will always protect what happens within the borders of China to keep it Han Chinese or whatever in there. That's it. They're not going to have the undercutting of. They've done a good, if not horrific, job of taking care of the Uyghur population up in the northwest Xinjiang region and places like that. They're not going to allow forces of Islam to come in and disrupt and have these halal and all this bullshit with alternate. No, there's only one system. That's it. No, it's not a strength. You know, Michael Savage, he wrote a book, Language, Borders, and Customs. And he was very much on the leading edge of what destroys open societies is the influx of people who have no appreciation for an open society. They want to make it super closed to their way of doing things. Language, borders, culture, yeah. How you doing, Chef? Look at the price that England's just announced their GDP. They barely, I mean, I'm talking like 1/10 of 1% growth or something. Whereas you have expenses ripping along at 6 or 7% increase a year. So, you know, make it make sense to me. That's all I'm saying. You only need know where does the money flow in the world? Where is the money flowed in the last 20 years with this great internationalization of trade? You built up a huge manufacturing base in China. The president says we need to. We don't have any manufacturing anymore. Oof. We're going to set up stuff to bring it back. You know what? And then they come out. We don't have the people, dude. We don't have people that can use a caliper. We don't have people that understand how to run an engine lathe, how to run a CNC controlled machine. And you expect these people, they're going to have one hand on their cell phone and their shirt sleeve out, and they're going to get pulled into the machine and a bloody mess. That's it. Reminder, we are in a fundraiser. It's time for my hourly pitch. If you can help out, I try to do a lot in the communities and for people. If you can help out, and want to give a little something towards the effort. We only had a modest goal of $200 tonight we're trying to raise. And if you want to help out, just back out of the chat, close out the window, go to my main channel page, look at any of the videos on the front channel page, pick any one of them that says fundraiser. You will see that open up and you will be able to make your donation, and then come back and tell us that you donated and we can celebrate you tonight. Okay? You can exchange currency. Yeah, but who's going to go to Niagara Falls, right? And you can imagine the surcharge on that. Like, very small volume changes. No, they're going to eat you alive on the. They're going to take 10% vigorous on that. The only intelligent thing to do is wire transfer it to another bank offshore, and you convert it to, say, whatever XYZ currency, and you open up a depository account on that. Now remember, in the Far East, there ain't no such thing as insurance on banks. Therefore, the bankers have to be much more diligent in terms of where they lend their money at, because they're going to be sitting on those loans. There's no place to sell those loans off to, package them up into a collateralized mortgage obligation like we did in 2000 to 2006. All right, yeah, but you don't have a bank established on the other side. That's going to be the problem that you run into. And if you show up with any appreciable money and you walk into a Western Union like that, you'll probably have the Secret Service there while you're still standing there at the counter telling them, I want to wire transfer, $200,000. Really? Step out. Let's talk. Come on over here. Sit down. Let's get a cup of coffee. We want to ask you what's going on. What do you mean, what's going on? Yeah, that's a lot of money. We want to make sure it gets there safely. Come on over, have a seat here. Let's go in the conference room here and sit down. Door closes. All right, dude. What are you doing? Sending money out? You got a problem here or something? Some more bad loans, exactly. Maybe SoftBank. SoftBank's the one that just dumped out their whole NVIDIA position because they're starting to crumble over there in Europe. My point is, we're not structured in this country to think internationally because the US dollar has been so very dominant for decades. Since World War II, it's been the preeminent currency for all LLCs are opened in US dollars, joint venture agreements are denominated in US dollars. Now, there's way too many dollars being created and borrowed. Way too many. And people are starting to think, wonder what's going to happen to this, wonder how this is going to turn out. Secret Service. Their other job is to protect the fidelity of United States currency against counterfeiting, international fraud, all that kind of. A huge part of the Secret Service is, banks are really good at detecting counterfeit money, and they'll have a G-man within the hour there. They'll review the footage on the cameras. They'll find you, but before the sun goes down, you'll be in a conference room talking to Secret Service, guaranteed. Yep. If you haven't donated today, please. Worse than no way. Well, I hope you can do a little something to help out Chef on the fundraiser here. Even a token just to support. But if you can, I understand. But we had a very modest goal of just trying to collect $200 tonight. So I'm hoping we can do that. The economy just doesn't collapse. It becomes, friction develops. It's too hard to do business. You have to pay employees too much. Food costs too much. Regulations are too much. Benefits are too much. It starts to slow down. You have instead of a virtuous circle of opening business, you have a bad circle.
Remember me?
Yeah, how you doing?
That's how I saw you, and I'm like, I know who you are.
Yeah, I know you.
Yeah.
Remind me, where did I know you from?
What was that?
Where do I know you from?
I worked with my grandpa when we moved
oh,
all the stuff out of the back.
Yeah. How's he doing? Okay, good.
Did that guy ever come back for his stuff?
No, it's still in storage. I think he's over there.
What was that?
I think he's checked in on it, but it's over there for him.
Oh yeah.
I thought I'd do him a solid and just get him.
He goes and checks on this stuff?
I don't know. I haven't seen him in a week, so I'm not really sure. So.
But he did end up going back to your house?
Well, just to see the cats that are there, stuff like that. So.
I was gonna say, so I could get that bike if he wasn't gonna pick it up.
You guys did a good job. Plus, you're honest, which is nice. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys don't rip anybody off and shit. That stuff comes back in life anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nipsey Hussle. How about that? I like your shirt. That's
what was
cool,
that?
Man. I like your shirt. I
like
like your shirt, Nipsey Hussle.
Thank you.
That's excellent, man.
Yeah.
Well, say hi to your uncle, okay?
All right, will.
He's glad to have you working along.
Yeah. All right. Have a good
All right,
one.
take care. No, he helped. He was one of the guys I supervised in clearing out the shine shack there, making sure that everything was properly done and everything. So he did a great job. So I'm very happy. No, I always get people that notice me, that know me on the streets and all that. A little more in my former rendition than the current one, but they still know and follow. He is a very nice guy. He's been raised right. Let's see. Do you see black market starting to develop? Yes, I do, Peter. I do, because let's put it this way, Peter. As the government's ability to restrain people becomes diminished, and people sense that they're being freed from the restraints of government authority, they're going to really accelerate. They're going to really accelerate things here. All right, and I easily envision. You have to understand. You got to look at the way things are set up right now. We have equity markets that have come up like this. Where were they before the crash in 2008? Where were they before the crash in 1974? Where were they before the crash in 1929? Where were they in the crash in 1907? They were all up here. There was no more good story to push things higher. All the good news was filtered into it. Okay, this is what you really have to bear. This is what you really, really have to bear in mind. That the way that things are setting up right now, that people were running in, they bought every dip like crazy. They've been trained like Pavlov's dog to run in. One of these times when they run in, they're going to get their heads lopped off. And they're going to be amputated without benefit of anesthesia. And the more they start firing more coal into a boiler that's filling with water, figuring this is the greatest buying opportunity since sliced bread, they're perfectly set up for a disaster in that regard. Just think of how the picture's coming together here. Think of the financial demands on this nation. Think about what happens when people say, I don't have a job, so I need a stimulus check or I need a payroll enhancement. And they say, you know what, Amanda, hug and kiss? That bird has flown the coop, hon. We can't afford to give a stimulus. We can't afford it. You know what? Yo-yo, you're on your own. Right? It's like when the old cook came on deck of the Edmund Fitzgerald and said, boys, it's been nice to know you. Trade, do train. They buy this way. Yeah, they've been trained and rewarded. It's a reward. Every time they've bought, they've been rewarded until the time they're not, and then they go down with the ship all the way. And what becomes a time of confidence for them, like in AI and stuff for that, all of a sudden it turns into a psychological nightmare where they, should I get out while I still got something, or should I hold on? Is there going to be a rebound? Why don't these big guys come in and support the market? Maybe I'll wait till tomorrow, and tomorrow comes and, oh shit. I'm like Alan Gentry. We've always had this bond. We know exactly what's coming. Exactly. And when this thing goes, people are not psychologically suited. They've been on the greed train for so long that they forget the fear train. And unfortunately, in human existence, fear is a much stronger response than greed. And literally, people will be running for their lives. Elmer, I was there in the 80 downturn. I remember 74 when my father missed a major promotion because of the recession of 1973-74, because of the Russian oil embargo. I know extensively about the 1907 Knickerbocker panic when the copper, they tried to corner the copper market. Sure as hell we know about 1929, where confidence in the future was unlimited, but people's ability to consume went right down the toilet. How you doing, Pathway of Hope? Yeah, another stimulus check is untenable. Untenable. You doc, we shroomed and hang out. One the other, I never in the raid meeting. Hey, Scottish, how are you? I got my blood and soul during that time. My blood was like, yeah, I took my blood pressure was pretty damn good today. Doctor says, yeah, cut down. You might want to cut down the drinking a little bit. Right. The market always seems to, yes, it always seems to rebound. Yeah, and that's the great hook that catches the fish. Boy Blue, that's the hook that gets the fish in the end. Is that you have people that have been so well trained over time, but there comes a point psychologically there's nothing left to give. And all of these heads of Cisco and these other coming out and telling you how great it is, it's not having a positive effect on the market anymore. Yeah, they stop buying their shares when they start worrying about they're not going to have liquidity to do their operations. Then guess what happens, Buttercup baby? The stock repurchase plans are put on ice. Stock repurchases come about because companies have no idea of how to improve and expand their operations in an efficient and orderly way. So the only thing they can do is maintain their operations and then just buy in the number of shares to increase the earnings per share. All right. You want a company that expands? The Hunt brothers and Silva has been a year on a video game when did the players right and had to change the game. Well, you did the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. Hunt brothers were sitting pretty, and then the inside bankers and people up there that stood to get wiped out if they had to deliver came out and said, you know, for every contract of silver you have for 5,000 ounces on the Commodity Futures board, you need to now have 4 times the margin up. And the Hunt brothers are like, what? Dude, we don't have money to cover that. They call up Chemical Bank of New York, or they call up the Chase, and they're like, no, boys, we just don't like the game you're running there. It's over. busted the corner. I like that. Tulips, there's the best one, Tulip Mania. Well, I'm not saying buy silver, boy blue. I've been banging the drum on silver when it was affordable. And like any, good night, mystery, and like anything else, people ignore it. And then when it gets to a high price, then they're like, should I buy it now? Well, in my opinion, gold and silver are never too high to begin buying. And something's never too low to begin selling it. So, you have to ask yourself, boy blue, until you can satisfy yourself as to why something is happening, then you better respect the trend, because the market knows something that you don't, and I don't. No bourbon, no nothing. Yeah, Pathway of Hope. Yeah, they wrecked the Hunt brothers. Favorite color is royal blue. The market not going to bounce. You have to observe markets. When they don't bounce on good news, then there's something, the psychology is starting to waver. Tomorrow could be a very strong rebound. My point is, there's going to be one time when the rally to try to attempt to make a new high is going to fail, and you're going to reach a major reversal point in the market where people are bloated with profits, and in their mind, their fear will be, I'll have to pay taxes on these profits, so I can't sell. Well, I'll tell you what, it's not going to hold the mutual funds back from selling. They're going to be pulling the ripcord like there's no tomorrow, knowing that you're frozen into position. Yeah, $8 at Troy. It was like $5 when I was in Hong Kong. You could buy taels, Tael, of silver and gold over there. Nobody was interested in it. That's the time to slowly accumulate. Just build yourself up a monster position and then just wait. That's a mess every day. I don't think that the government is going to be able to cope with the amount of people that are losing on the consumption side of things, that are losing their positions. It ripples out from the service sectors taking the biggest hit right now, service jobs. But manufacturing continues to decline in this nation. Because it takes capital investment, that people are pouring the money into AI. No, Hong Kong's not worse off. Hong Kong is under the wing of China. Problem with China is rampant corruption. You saw that bridge fall down, and people used to laugh when I said it's tofu construction over there. Concrete that's like tofu. You got to ask yourself, would you cross a Chinese bridge? They paid, Hong Long Chu $10,000 bribe for the shitty substandard concrete that came in. Gold in the market, I used to graph with graph paper. Whatever hit that bridge, Buttercup baby, it couldn't stand up to it. And if they didn't think that a landslide could bring down that bridge, well, they didn't clear enough of that side of the mountain off, did they? Hot air balloon, they've been full, no idea what fiat currency is. Right. DJ, China got their metal down, the China screw ring to watch it chip. The point is, what gets imported into the United States from China is on price alone. Because you had millions of people sitting out there, oh, I love Shein and I want Temu product. Oh, they're so cheap, I can get a top for 99 cents or whatever. They're going for the lowest hanging fruit that they can possibly get. It doesn't mean China doesn't build some very good products. It means that America's not interested in those products. They want Dollar Tree China, the cheap shit. that comes in, and then they'll complain I paid $1.25 for it and it was a piece of junk. If a country's a paper tiger, you have to look at the extent of free reserves in that nation. You have to look in terms of financial flexibility. The Chinese government can sit back and say, we don't have any bank insurance here. So, pardon my language, so if you dickheads wrote all these loans for these housing estates, well, don't come running to us. Right? We got our money from trade. It's all here. Yeah, we'll throw you a little bone, but you're not touching this money. You're not touching this dough, guaranteed, bro. Then all of a sudden, Trump gets into the White House, or before then, their panic begins. We can't manufacture anything anymore. Right? We don't have any metals. We don't have any rare earths. What the hell are we doing? It's like, obviously the prior administration they didn't give a fuck about it. They're not thinking about it. Right? I'm thinking to myself, at least somebody's thinking about it. Bitcoin got rejected and he's back on the party's over for us. Well, you gotta, like I said, Jason, your biggest challenge is rebooting the psychology of Bitcoin, getting people interested again. The air is out of the balloon. People have turned their attention on to AI. They turn their attention on to gold and silver. You don't see anybody writing articles about Bitcoin. It was on the cover of Fortune magazine. There's Tom Brady pimping for it and all these athletes. You don't see that stuff in. Who's pimping for it now? Nobody. Who's paying for it now? Yeah, Fusion, all the no, I'm not bringing your condition to light, Ryan. You bring it to light. That your dick has a problem. We are eating warmed up today for a few days, so we're great. That's good. So, Ronnie, where do we stand on the fundraiser tonight? We're trying to get to 7,600, just a little jump from 7,200 tonight. Hopefully we'll achieve that, and then by the end of tomorrow in Petaluma, we'll be at the 8, which will be sitting really pretty for to bring this turkey home, to bring this baby home. Here comes the king, here comes the big number one. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Ba ba do 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 do. It's sprinkling a little bit tonight still. Do 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 do. Yeah, we're 74.10. We got $190 to go. That's it. Is that the latest? I thought we were 7410 when we began today. We had some donations that came in. Must be real, the world's financial markets fail. Not necessarily, Boy Blue. You have to remember, the United States is a consumer. All right? They're not a producer. And AI could really knock the stuffing out from underneath the high technology industry here. It could reduce that down to 10% of its former self with more efficiency. Think about that. Why do I need to keep expanding the AI models? They're all dragging the net for the same information. Why do I need 10 models? It's like somebody said in 1933, why do we need 112 car companies? We don't. By 1940, we have like 11. That's it. AI is going to go down the same path. A little AI goes a long way. Somebody sets up ChatGPT, the subscriber model. They got everything they need. They call the manager in, the chairman of the board of directors. Hey, Frankie, say hello to ChatGPT. Oh, I haven't met him before. Where's Chat? Chat or Chat? Chat. He's in here in the smartphone. Yeah, we're going to need you to cut 50% of the 50% of the overhead here for accounting, regulation, compliance, surveillance. We don't need just get rid of the design people. This is going to take it over. Get rid of the people. Yeah, so it all begins. Well, if something happens to the big banks, they'll be there with their hat in hand again. Hello. And guess what? We messed up again. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. What did Optimistic? Optimistic donated $50. Optimistic is wonderful. Yeah, just insults you, or is your date for the night. Your ChatGPT girlfriend in your right hand. You're all set for the night, and a couple brews. That's it. The other guy, not the magnet. Boom. Boy, Blue, how much more hyped up can AI be? Thank you, Optimistic. Wonderful supporter of the channel. How much more can you hype it up? How much more can the CEO of Amazon and the CEO of Microsoft and the CEO of IBM come out and tell you how great it's going to be? Dude, every bit of good news is factored into the market. There is no more. Right? It's all puffed up. It's all ready to go. She's all dressed for the date. That's it. Yeah, Optimistic is wonderful. Yeah, it's incredible, and it's profound. All AI is the aggregation of all human information rapidly at your fingertips. Right. I don't have any problem waiting 2.5 seconds for my answer to come out of ChatGPT. Can you make me a nice thumbnail about this? It's not like I'll see you in a couple hours. We're going to hit the artboard. No, don't bother. AI's got it here already. It looks good. Whoa, I might not have a job here next week. What did you say? Oh, never mind. I just, it's just mumbling to myself. I'm saying just be aware. Just don't be a lemming. Be a thinker. Don't be a follower just because. Try to be somebody that anticipates a change in trend. Now you have politics that's going to start to get very unstable in here. They're complaining today that the Democrat Party is fracturing. It's falling apart. It's coming unglued. That's not a good thing. And they start to head. It starts to get so bad. You start tearing people. You start tearing the party apart from the inside, ripping it to shreds. The whole world has too much debt, so it's going to be a worldwide phenomenon. This is why today, in the face of a market that went down 800 points, interest rates rose today. Rose. That immediately tells me today that there's a lot of springiness at the 4% 10-year note. And that springiness is not letting that yield go down. That yield is showing a propensity to want to rise, not fall. And there's a reason. Do you happen to remember the old Lemmings game for the Amiga? No, I never played it, but I sure as hell know what a lemming is. Ooh, it's waffle. Do we really want to tear into housing tonight? Here's the problem, Boy Blue. We have built out housing so dramatically in this nation. And we're staring in the face of a population decline. We're staring in the face of baby boomers beginning to cash out in ever rising numbers from day to day. They might have 2 or 3 kids that are going to be fighting over the house or whatever. And, all that shit's got to be liquidated. And then the young people that the daughter, son, we're baristas at Starbucks. How can we possibly pay the property tax on this place that mom and dad paid? Or how can we possibly, where are we going to get the money for a new roof? Fuck, insurance is how much? In other words, Boy Blue, the thing I want you to think about is the generation behind is incapable of sustaining the burden of the cost of home ownership. There's your big, big problem. It's not the cost of the house, it's the yearly burden of having it's the yearly burden. Oh, you're having surgery? Well, good luck to you. My Lord. Yes, thank you, Optimistic. Absolutely possible. Yeah, Jensen Huang is a very good CEO. But she's interested in her own financial well-being at this point. And I can guarantee you she took advantage of her statement yesterday to sell the shit out of stock yesterday, to unload tons of her personal holdings. Release a bit of good news and then take advantage of it personally and get out of Dodge. If you have NVIDIA, you have to also understand that the rest of the world is not in frozen, suspended state, building their futures around NVIDIA. They're all moving forward at the speed of light with their own chips. So all these tremendous forces are at work to undercut too much profitability. There's too much money to be made. And wherever there's a high degree of profit, it's going to come under tremendous attack by competition. Tremendous attack. I wish it wasn't sprinkling tonight. We could walk around. John, like the poor glad the only thing of the Lord. Thank you, Peter. What we fail to have in a lot of the world today is people that are able to take a very broad perspective and take in the whole the whole chessboard, to see the whole thing. They're so busy focused on their one little Nvidia pawn on the chessboard that they don't see the bishop ready to come across and wipe it out. It's all a very complicated, interrelated economy here. And yeah, I would say for sure that Las Vegas is like the one that's leading the nation into a lot of trouble here. So the kids that inherit the house, sell them to people that can buy 5 at a time, or if the people that can buy them 500 at a time even want them, Alan. See, I don't believe going forward that Blackstone, BlackRock, other groups that have managed to buy 5% of the housing stock are going to be interested in buying it in the future, because holy shit, we got to deal with tenants who won't leave. We got lawyers' bills coming at the wazoo. We got taxes. We got local ordinances that have come in. Holy crap, did you see the earthquake insurance bill? Right, you think that all these corporations are just going to keep consuming this stuff. They're consuming rotten fruit right now. You guys don't remember the way the Japanese came in the 1980s and bought big signature skyscrapers, Pebble Beach, all these big West Coast properties. Came in and bought Sony Pictures, bought Columbia Pictures. It ended up being a disaster. It wiped out Japan for the next 30 years. It wiped out Japan. You had the lost generation that didn't have a pot to piss in. I wasn't nervous. You can imagine the people cheering here. Look, I got 4 more over here, Mr. Yakimoto. Do you want to see them too? Yeah, yes. In other words, if you set your stock by what corporations do and what they invest in, well, you get what you get. Corporations are no smarter at thinking about what's coming than people in this chat. Yeah, because Japan is situated in the Far East. They're not interested in being at war with Japan. They're interested in dominating manufacturing production. They're interested in rebuilding their population base. They do everything they can to get young people out there stooping like minks in heat. But they're not buying it. Okay? You know, there's fundamentally something very screwed up in the world that gorges on greed. The Japanese ended up getting like 30 cents on the dollar liquidating those turkey buildings. Oh, but that was, people were fearful. Oh, they're buying everything. And then they have to manage it. And then they have the bills come for security and insurance. Put the picture together. You listen to these other channels, these talking heads tell you what already happened. I'm not doomsaying, boy blue, you always say that, but there's nothing that you can point to that undermines this picture. By the young people, the uneducated young people in this nation, the fact that humanity now relies on AI to do its thinking, there goes creativity out the window. I can think of 10 handles on this thing that say this is going to be as disruptive as the Industrial Revolution was. That had people writing books like The Jungle by Upton Sinclair about the meatpacking industry with 10-year-old kids working in there. Yeah, the public education. I'm just saying, look at the lack of respect in the education. Look at the lack of parenting today. Look at young people that can go into a classroom, turn over desks like in Modesto, and just laugh at the teacher. You don't think something went wrong in their moral formation? You don't think there's a little problem that's not going to resolve itself by just saying, be nice? These things are solved through hard work and labor and tears and training. They don't come naturally to people. You tell me how that resolves, and then I'll agree with you. That's the biggest threat to this nation's future is an uneducated citizenry. It's going to take over the positions of importance in this nation. And they're out there partying and doing drugs and worrying about what this girl's ass looks like. I can assure you they don't do that in China. Well, that's what it sets up for, and people are perfectly positioned for it with the smug assurance that it's going to be great. Right, there's this confidence that I haven't seen since the housing thing in 2005 when I can show you 3 magazine covers tonight that prove exactly what I say, and I've pulled them out before to show people, and I will show you tonight what people were saying in 2005 at the peak of all the insanity in real estate. I'll show you what the popular media was on about. And you'll say to yourself, my God, Rosie, there's a reason you kept those magazines, absolutely positively. To try to snap people to attention to say, whatever you think about the future, they already thought about it and put their money in position to get it. You're late to the party. So all these, I'm so worried about Blackstone's buying all these properties. That's the least of the concerns. People will be damn glad that the corporations are stupid enough to come in initially and buy chunks of it. Just like the Chinese are happy that the United States Treasury offloaded sucked down all the treasuries that they were holding. You think the Chinese are going to leave their money in a failing enterprise? Come on. It's all a big shell game. Buttercup, Boy Blue, for my sake, I hope you're right. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I talked about this 2 years ago, and in my opinion, I was way too early because AI picked up the baton and it built up this huge bubble over the last 2 years. There's no more, you can't puff it up anymore. There's nothing more good that can be said about it. It's already factored into the prices. What's going to hurt is the people that are laid off because of AI are unable to consume at the levels that they used to consume before. Las Vegas vacations, crystal gel nails at the salon, nice restaurant outings, trips to Disneyland and Dollyland and all these beautiful cruise ships. Do you know what an anomaly it is in history? The last time we had tremendous numbers of cruise ships was in the 1920s. People think exactly the way they felt 100 years ago, no differently. What is what will always be. Alfred E. Newman. What, me worry? Now Carnival Cruise Line can't even have a cruise without people being assaulted and going crazy on the ship. It's now become the point where you can't even hold cruises because you have to have such high levels of security, because people are so barbarian now that they can't even go on a cruise without going ghetto. Think about that. Tell me people haven't degraded in the world. Look at the picture of the people on cruise ships in the 1920s and look at the pictures of people on them today. You tell me if we advanced. Wake up, people. We're a society living on fumes. Sucking every bit of borrowed money we can out of it to get that last drink before the bars shut down. There's never anything new under the sun, ever. People are exactly the same today as they were at the time of Cain and Abel. Human nature never, ever, ever changes. It's baked into you. All things being equal, your tendency will be to become a savage over time, to be a pagan and a barbarian. That will be your natural tendency over time. And our society proves it now. I wouldn't be so sure. That's a very, I don't mean this in a negative way, that's a very narcissistic position, Boy Blue. That's not founded in reason right now. Coming to a point where humans are more and more obsolete. Here's a bad setup with people on bikes here. That's fine, Boy Blue. We'll see how it all plays out at the end. I think if you think China's going to do something militarily, Taiwan or something, you're dead wrong. They're just going to sit back and watch the whole. They love it every time protesters are crazy on the streets. Every time people are out of their minds, all they have to do is just sit back and let the pieces fall into place. That's it. They don't have to do a thing. They don't have the disordered, barbaric society we do. People are still raised right in China. And you're safer there than you are on the streets of this nation. That's for damn sure. Don't have a drug problem. Oh, look at all the people on fentanyl and drugs. You think, Boy Blue, that's good for a nation? That everybody's on weed every day? You don't think that affects people's work ethic? I saw it firsthand. When somebody tells you I'd rather do drugs, I'd rather buy drugs with my money than food, You're at an interesting place in the world. So why shouldn't there be a great chastisement? Looks like all the loons are here tonight. Out! 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 Magic, move it. Move it, move it, move it. I like to move it. No, boy, Blue, you're living in La La Land. You don't have the background in understanding China that I do. You go by the propaganda that you hear in this nation. Which is okay because there's nothing else that you really know. I mean, it's all you can know. What you don't understand is the way that Chinese people think. All right, here we go. Let's get this cleaned out, you bird brains. Who's hungry? Who's hungry? In other words, you're in a very insular world here. Ooh, ooh. For a nation to be civilized, the people have to be civilized. When people stop being civilized, the nation is gone. When you can't teach kids in school anymore, you're gone. Table, bird brain. Patience is a virtue. Patience is a virtue. You dingleberries. There you go, dingleberries. I don't know if I should put the big computer up. Look, he's going to have to take responsibility for him sooner or later. It's not mine. I'm talking to the lady at the cat rescue place today about it. Oh, it's chilly tonight. Oh, Jeremy always is back in. Oh yeah, you ought to see him out here eating. Her out here eating. Doesn't look hungry to me. Her cat's an animal. Boy Blue, don't argue about stuff. You've shared your opinion, I've shared mine. If you really want to be a help support the fundraiser. Since you've made all this money, that would really be super. That's great. I'm happy. I knew you would. That way we have a good Thanksgiving. That makes me feel good. Of course, but you come here for entertainment too. And I don't have channel memberships, Patreons. Right? It's just a nice way to support what I'm doing. Somebody provides a lot of entertainment years on end here. No memberships, no nothing. It's just a way of saying thank you, Rosie, for having the platform. And I appreciate that. I respect you too, Boy Blue, because you didn't get what you have by being stupid. You're a very smart person. But I'm asking people to support me and what I'm doing. Oh, Cobra John is wonderful. So where do we stand now? Thank you, Cobra John. Thank you, Cobra John. Hey, Joni. Let me see something. Where are we? 75? Is that something seems wrong with the figures? I don't know. We're only $100 away. Woo! Acropolis 1989. Only $100 away. Man, it's chilly tonight. PIG pig. All right. Oh, man. Oh, man. just what I always wanted to be. Thank you, Patty Wakefield. Give me a slide. Look at how fat you are. Look at how fat you are. Tiger's becoming a fat boy over here. Tiger would live at the trough. Hey, Boy Blue, when I see you in the chat, I appreciate that you're here. Because you know why? Because you think. You think about shit. Magic! Go on. Well, I don't know, Scott. I mean, you got people running chats that are just, you know, just drama and entertainment. It's like, you know, this person said this about this person. This woman pulled her tits out on a live stream. Oh, did you see this or that? In other words, they're so involved with the circuses that their lives revolve around it. It's like the Aesop's fable. When you're not out there gathering and storing up your nuts, it's not the tale of the squirrel nutkin. Alright, Bond, we can talk a little less baseball. Yeah, we're just, I'd buy a Gallia. I don't even know what the hell it is. Oh, you mean Goliath? Oh, okay. I haven't heard from Blackbird. He might have gone on down to LA. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Canada's very strict on they're very strict, Kelly. Out and see. Oh, oh. All right. That's driving me crazy. Okay, we're gonna get some pasta water going here. Yeah, it's a very difficult thing. You have to sit in quarantine. It's like Hawaii. People are always crying. I can't get my pet there. He's got to be like in a 90-day quarantine or whatever. Oh, I don't get to see my puppy for so long. I hope I can come down and visit Puffy. No. No, they don't want you around the government facility hanging down. Like, what are you here for? We're here to see Puffy today. Get the hell out of here. Oh, you don't like Puffy? Yeah, we got your Puffy, don't we? I don't even know if I have nice tomatoes. I want to see Puffy tonight. Puffy's the name of the cat. Try diced tomatoes tonight. Oh, they're holding Puffy in lockup. I don't even have any cat visitation. Ooh, it's Waffle. Yeah, I do a lot of traveling. I don't shirk my responsibilities. My congressman, because you're holding up Puffy. Puffy is disease-free. Well, look at it this way. He won't be by the time he gets the hell out of lockup. Ooh, that's funny. You must be a comedian. You want to see Puffy or not? And you better shut your mouth. you got picking out any tomato skin tonight. That's the good news. All you Puffy Rangers. Where's Puffy? You can watch Puffy on closed circuit TV. Yeah, but it's not working. Oh yeah, we put in to have that fixed a couple months ago. Yeah. Sorry. Puffy, come on. People used to get so pissed in Hawaii. They had some of the strictest quarantine. Shoot, I think it was even 90 days they had. Because there's never been any rabies in Hawaii. No snakes and no rabies. So you better believe they check everything, man. They want to know your whole puppy's whole life story. Oh, don't you love Puffy's name? Yes, ma'am. It's a wonderful name. You know I'm going to report you to my congressman when I get back. Yes, ma'am. That'll be the 15th report they take on me this week. Everybody's eating plenty. Here's our next. A little more garlic to throw in. Yeah, there's plenty of peacocks too. Those are really a pain in the ass. We want to drain these really well. These tomatoes. Puffy, come home. They lost Puffy at the shelter place too. It's horrible to do. Okay. We're going to cut up a little Parmesan so it's ready to go. Fine grade here. That was an expensive piece of Parmesan, let me tell you. Alan, did you ever get down to Cebu in the Philippines? That's a poppin' town with some really top flight ladies down there. When Roosevelt was there, yeah, it was the deal. That was it. We got our... We're getting ready to drop our noodles a little bit. Anybody wants to close the gap? We're trying to get to 7,600 tonight. We are really close. have that a little bit al dente so it absorbs. We're not ready to begin the main event yet. Yeah, I'm having spaghetti tonight. I'm trying a different way here. I want to get this method locked in really well. Good news tonight, I don't have to diddle around with the skins on the potatoes. All we want is that garlic to pick up flavor, that's it. That's olive oil to pick up that flavor, that's it. Hey, happy face. Real restaurant. We run out of gas. Oh well. We're all good above. Get the other lighter here. Hey, MB. Anybody wants to be here? We're trying to close the gap on that last 100 tonight. Set us in good shape for tomorrow. You can really enjoy Petaluma. I'm going to turn that off. That's ready to go. Smelling good. We're going to remove the garlic. The pasta water is really critical there. We're kind of tamping them down a little bit. We don't have to worry about any skins or anything like that. No salt in here. Wow, Imagine just ate that piece of garlic. You like that? That was Simba. Man, that's going to be fantastic, isn't it? And all those flavors work so good. Oh, yeah. It's reducing really good. We're going to put the cheese in. Let that melt down. Some genuine Parmesan cheese, ladies and gentlemen. And that's all coming together really good with good color. We need to add one more thing to it. I'll turn this super low. The passata, the tomato puree to it. Right here. Good hit of that. I'm gonna let that baby finish cooking off all al dente. All beautiful. I mean, can you imagine how that tastes? Prepped up like that. Yeah, it's meatless. This will be the final liquefaction here. Man, that looks good. Yeah, we all hope the hugging has a good outcome. And we're just going to let that go down to natural heat right now. Everything's off. Look at how beautifully that is. Oh, man, that is something. there. And you want to finish with a little bit of olive oil on top. And there, my friends, here's a feast right there. Beautifully plated. Easy, you dope. I think I got my fork down here somewhere. The chef would say, you plated that nicely. Let's get rid of this before one of these dingleberries gets burned on it. Let's go over here and enjoy. All right. Abundance, everybody. Ooh. I love the way that plates up with the tongs like that. For me, that would probably be a little too much with garlic bread. I'm dropping a few pounds here, so. I got the gas on. There was nothing wrong. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Bless us, O Lord, and these, I guess, which we're about to receive from thy bounty through Christ our Lord, amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. All right, here we go. You see the way those tomatoes, they just liquefied at the end. Just liquefied. Wow, we just moved up our game. We just notched up our game to a whole another level. What's the score on the football game, Callie? Cook a steak next. Yeah, the steak in the pan. Yeah, we're gonna do that next. I've been throwing money into the fundraiser. I got money to get something to eat. 14-7 Patriots. Okay, Jim Rockford. Oh man, this is delicious. It's so bright. It doesn't have like over garlic. It's not super sharp. I think the diced tomatoes worked out just fine. Worked out just fine. The sauce didn't break all over the plate. The cats are just gonna have to wait, Ilva. It's me time. But you'll notice they always get fed before I chew. Hey, Simba. You're always like a guard dog around here. It's like the only way I would ever have spaghetti again is that way. Absolutely delicious. Here comes Fat Tiger. Talk about a cat that's never given a bit of love. Thank you, Yoba. A cat that's never given a bit of love around here. What? You just stare. You should try a rose sauce if you like. Look, this is like restaurant quality tonight. No kidding. You can adjust it a little bit. That's what I have in here, wine country. It's exactly what I'm using tonight. Kirkland crushed diced tomatoes. Simba. You finish with a little bit of olive oil. Chef tell you that's the missing thing. No, I don't like things kind of, it's fine. It's fine. I don't need to eat that much to feel good about it. You know. To feel like it's tasty. I don't know, Goliath has got his head in his... he's causing trouble somewhere right now. What an excellent dish. I'm so used to a sauce that breaks. This is really exceptional. And you can do it in one pan. One pan. And people like the way I plated it with the tongs and everything. Thank you, Boy Blue. That little bit, about 1/6 of that package, I'm already like, half of that's over there. I'm already full of quality. Get those oils into it. You added regular milk. I didn't put any cream or milk. Are you asking me or somebody else? This only has passata, which is Italian puree, Italian olive oil, crushed tomatoes, salt, and some flaked Parmesan. That's it. If I had basil, I'd pull a few leaves off and present it like that. Yeah, there's no cream in here at all. Yeah, diced tomatoes. I don't know, Goliath had it out. All he did was sleep all day. You have this, you don't have garlic breath. But you have a note of garlic in here, just a note of it. Just a little bit of a note of it. I use them, they'll last for months, Ronnie. Once I put them in and get it flavored, you remove the garlic and you just throw it away. You don't have to chop it, you don't have to do anything. If you cut the garlic too fine, it can burn, so you just want to put in a big chunk. Delicious. Cats are they're a supreme pain in the ass, but what am I going to do? Simba, why you do that? Huh? Why you do that? Here's a big brat every night. All right, Ronnie, where do we stand? Is anybody going to come through like gangbusters tonight? And boom, baby. Kick to the 7-6, so tomorrow we can hit the 8. And we can go down to the Winterfest Parade in Stowell Saturday for the Lighted Sofa Parade at Winter Blast 2025. I hope they have a lot of sofas tomorrow. All right, I'm going to pack up the rest. Sorry, I'm not giving the cats any tonight. It's too good. That was deliciousable. Okay, we didn't see Nino tonight. Man, I'm loving stainless steel. Who knew? Hey! Don't take the cat's head off. There's some kids jumping on their furniture all the time. Oh, that's for dinner tomorrow night. That's like ready to go. Right there. That is ready to go. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what we can do with the steak in there. Throw a little, season that oil a little bit. Might be all right. Why? Nobody like to hear you yelling all the time. You saved your life, and that's the thanks we get. Yeah, these diced tomatoes are just fine. I would rather had Marzano, the plum tomatoes, Italian. But these will be all right. My goodness, that was delicious. Who's that cat? Huh? Who's that cat? Oh. All right, move on, Goliath, and take Chairman Meow with you. Oh, man, that was delicious. Oh. What are you doing, Magic? How far am I from LA? About 400 miles. That's it. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for me tonight. It's been a great stream. We didn't do walking around tonight because of it's sprinkling out. It's not a really good weather day. Tomorrow is going to be really fun in Petaluma. I will go live at 3 o'clock. We will be in a horizontal format, and we're going to try to hit the 8K tomorrow night. We'd be able to really enjoy Winterfest on Saturday night. Anyway, thank you everybody for being here tonight. I appreciate you. Moderators, thank you for everything you do. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button. We're only 10 short tonight. Thank you, everybody.